Hello YouTube, and welcome to another video. And this is a list video. I'm doing this whilst one of my other videos are uploading. So anyways, as you can see by the title, I am doing a list of the top 10 most dominant Formula 1 cars in history, and this is going by their stats, as you will see on each slide. So let's get straight into it. Number 10 was the Infiniti Red Bull RB9, which competed in the 2013 season. And out of the 19 races it competed in during that season, it won 13 races, a total of 24 podiums shared between the two drivers, 11 pole positions and 12 fastest laps. And this car was what Sebastian Vettel used to break the streak of Alberto Ascari with 7 consecutive wins, and Sebastian Vettel got 9 consecutive wins, which was the last 9 races of the season. So from round 10 to round 19, Sebastian Vettel won them all. At number 9 is the Maserati 250F. It ran 46 races over the course of, I think, 6 might have been, or if not, well, a few years. It won 8 races, 8 pole positions and 10 fastest laps, and this was the last Formula 1 car of the 2.5 litre era back in the 50s. Although it was still a popular car amongst privateers who bought some to race, but come like 1960 they were mainly backmarkers then. Number 8 is the McLaren MP4/2. This ran for 3 years, from 1982 to 1984. It competed in 48 races and it won 22 of them. It had 7 pole positions and 16 fastest laps. At number 7 we have the Ferrari F 2002. 19 races, 15 wins, a combination of 28 podiums, 11 pole positions and 15 fastest laps. And this car was so good in 2002, I think Michael Schumacher got a podium rate of 100%. I think every race, I think there were 17 races in the 2002 season, and I think Schumacher finished on the podium of all of them. And this car was so good that it was still competitive in the early stages of 2003. Either I got that one mixed up with, either that's right, or I got it mixed up with the other good Ferrari, which we'll get to in a second. Number 6 is the Williams FW14. It was competing in 32 races. It has 17 wins, 21 pole positions and 19 fastest laps. And of course, we know that in 1992 its successor, the FW14B, was the car that introduced active suspension, which then got banned. So yeah, I mean, the main difference between the FW14 and the FW14B is on the nose it has 2 bulges either side for the active suspension unit. Number 5 is the Ferrari 500. 19 races, 14 wins, 13 pole positions, 12 fastest laps. Now, this is a bit of a different one because it wasn't actually a Formula 1 car, it was a Formula 2 car. But the FIA said that that they could use Formula 2 spec cars if they chose to. So Ferrari did. And this was the car that I mentioned earlier that Alberto Ascari got 7 consecutive wins in. And it in its debut season, it won every race. Even a race when Alberto Ascari wasn't there because he was doing the Indianapolis 500, another Ferrari driver won anyway. It almost won every race in the next season, but a man by the name of Juan Manuel Fangio came back and won for Mercedes, which broke that streak of consecutive wins. Because if he didn't win, chances are it probably would have been a Ferrari, because that's how good the car was. Number 4 is the Ferrari F 2004 with 20 races, 15 wins, 30 podiums, 12 pole positions and 14 fastest laps. And this was the car that Michael Schumacher won his last ever Drivers' Championship in. So, as I said, I think it was either this one or the F 2002 that was so competitive they used it for the beginning of next season. But even still, this car holds the lap record for some of the Formula One tracks that are in use even to this day. Like, well, I believe some of its records still stand, but that's just how powerful this car was. It still holds some lap records, even to this modern day, and that car is 15 years old. Number 3 is the Mercedes FW07 from 2016. It raced 21 races over that season. It won 19 of them. And it had 33 podiums, 20 pole positions, and 9 fastest laps. And this car was where it gave Nico Rosberg his first, and by the looks of things last, Drivers' Championship, because Rosberg isn't competing anymore. So, obviously the most dominant car, probably the most dominant team of the V6 turbo hybrid era. I don't really think there's any arguing that. I mean, looking at this car alone would give you example of why. But it was only 2 races off from going a complete clean sweep over the season. I think Ferrari won the other 2 that Mercedes didn't. Number 2 is the Lotus 72. And this car competed for a long time. Like, a really, really, really long time. I think it was 6 years, I think? I'm not sure. I wasn't born back then. I was only born in 2000. I mean, I know I looked on Wikipedia, but oh well. Anyways, it competed in 75 races. It got 20 wins to its name, 39 podiums, 17 pole positions, and 9 fastest laps. I think it won 3 consecutive championships. I think from 1971, 1972, and 1973, I think it did. I'm not sure, I have to check that. And number 1. The McLaren MP4/4. By far the most dominant Formula 1 car ever. Had the best drivers in the world in the cockpit at the time. Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost. and over a 16 race season it won 15 races and it got 15 pole positions and 10 fastest laps. I think Senna won 7 races, I think, and Prost won 8, I think it was, and the race that they didn't win was won by Gerhard Berger's Ferrari. And, well, I don't know if there's anything much else to say, except if you add the total of the points that every other team scored, and then you look at the total that this car scored, you will find, if you've worked it out right, you will find that over every other team combined, they only had 5 more points than McLaren. So, really, it was one car in a class of its own that really could have gone the whole season. But I can't remember what happened in that race when they didn't win. I mean, that's how good the car was, that it beat every other team, and they only lost, and the gap in total with every other team compared to this was only 5. So, anyways, that has been this video. That's been this list video. I open the door and heed the call and hit the subscribe button and bell notification so you don't miss any future video. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I will see you in the next video. And until then, goodbye.